This Saturday, this morning's guest will be walking to help save babies at Horry County's Walk America. After the walk, she'll be walking in a new direction. Who is she? You'll meet her coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Conway Medical's Wellness and Fitness Center. We're focused on this Saturday's Horry County Walk America to be held at Coastal Carolina University. And we're visiting with the Executive Director of the PD Division of the March of Dimes, Joe Fisher.
Yeah.
Good morning,
wow.
Joe.
It's great to see you, Greg.
1, 2,
Thanks for
3.
having me.
It's great having you in. This is so exciting. We're getting
Yes,
so
it
close,
is.
Joe.
I'm so excited. We're just a few short days away
It is amazing.
from an amazing walk to help save babies.
It's really, you were with us just a couple of weeks ago, and before that, just a couple of months before that. We are really trying to drive it home. This is our last push. Tomorrow, Rigby Wilson, the general manager of this station, WFXB Fox TV, will be on with us here. What about waking up on a Monday morning and being sitting in a green chair on a basketball court? Did you ever think?
I didn't think I would be doing this, but then again, I didn't think we would be having a Walk America at Coastal Carolina University. So
That's right.
Good things happen. They certainly do.
A year ago, when you went out calling on sponsors and talking to some of the schools about getting them pumped back up after the success of last year's walk, the last year at the Myrtle Beach Pavilion, Joe, you all had a big one last year. What were the final results of last year's walk, and anything that really stands out from last year's walk?
Well, when we were at the walk itself last year, our goal was $230,000,
Right.
and we were able to announce that at that stage of the game we had raised $250,000.
Wow.
But once the walk was over and monies continued to flow in, we finished at $272,000.
Is that right? $272,000.
It's the most it's
Wow.
ever raised. And of course, goals don't go down, Greg, they go up. And so our goal this year is $293,000.
Wow.
And that's
We're
an
gonna blow
amazing
by it,
amount.
right, this Saturday?
It's my sincere desire, prayer, hope
Yes.
that we hit the $300,000 mark. That would be great for
That would
this
be tremendous,
division and for babies, absolutely.
Would that be the largest walk in the state of South Carolina, then?
Well, there are a couple of walks that are bigger than that up in Greenville and Columbia,
Really?
but certainly we're up in the top 5 now.
Oh, my Lord,
It's great.
yeah. Particularly, I mean, this is a single county, and within the county, I know this past Saturday you were down in Georgetown
That's
for
right.
the Georgetown Walk America.
And Loris's walk was held last week. And,
Loris was the
then
same day,
coming
right?
up the same day that we do Horry County, we'll also have a walk in Dillon County. So
Is that
there's a lot of
right?
exciting things going
So
on.
Colleen Shanley may not be with us this Saturday.
That's right. She'll be
Oh.
in Dillon walking with the good folks there.
And, of course, this Saturday, very exciting, is National Walk America Day.
That's right. National Walk America Day in the United States. And so some of the certainly major walks throughout the country will be taking place that day. It's going to be a great day for babies in the United States.
Yeah, Joe. You know, you and I figured it out before starting filming this morning that we folks have exactly 123 hours before the walk begins on Saturday, this Saturday, that they've got
That's
that
right.
much time. What are things that they can be doing over the next 123 hours to really drive home the numbers for us to hit $292 and maybe even $300,000 this Saturday?
Well, I'm glad you asked that because in a short period of time you can raise substantial dollars. And one of the things that your audience can do is to raise money online.
Oh,
when you
good.
stop to think that every day 24 babies are born prematurely, if people would just take 24 minutes
Right.
and go online to www.walkamerica.org/South Carolina,
Okay.
they could sign up as an online fundraising team and send an email to everybody that they know and let
Right.
people send money back in to them. That's extraordinary. We
Right.
still can ask our friends and neighbors,
Oh, yeah.
pick up the phone and call people and say,
Right.
I'm going to walk for babies on Saturday. Would you make a donation to me? We take money all the time, and so all you have to do is ask. I think that's the optimum word, Greg, is asking people. And if someone says no, say, I'm not throwing your 3x5 card away. I'll be back next year.
Good.
And then ask someone else.
Absolutely. That's a very good point. And it is difficult when you call and someone's like, well, I really can't be a part of this Saturday's walk. But at the same time, they may be interested in helping out for another March of Dimes event, or just as you said, sending in a donation to your office on Laurel Street over here in Conway.
That's exactly right. Ironically, in the 7 years I've been involved with the March of Dimes, I have found people who have said no to us, that I've said that about the 3x5 card, that the next year you go in and they say, you know, I have had a grandchild born prematurely, and now the mission of the March of Dimes has come home to me, and so I want to get involved. So we don't ever throw anybody's 3x5 card away.
That's a very good point, and really everyone is impacted by not only premature births, but by birth defects and so many of the other issues that the March of Dimes wraps around show. What are some of the other things that that viewers need to think about, that ways that the March of Dimes have an impact on their life?
Well, certainly in our initial founding back in 1938 to find a cure for polio,
right,
in funding Dr. Jonas Salk, everyone has been touched by the March of Dimes,
yes,
because everyone
yes.
has had the polio vaccine.
Right.
But the health and well-being of children, for the most part, affects all of us. I have 2 children and I have 4 grandchildren, and I have a grandson born with a birth defect. And so, you know, we don't ever know when we're going to need an organization like ours
Right.
to reach out and help you with research, technology in these neonatal intensive care units to keep the smallest of babies alive. In fact, I brought this little T-shirt today because this is a T-shirt for a premature baby. And we have lots of ambassador families
Here, Joe,
who would actually, Greg,
Wow.
be too, this shirt would be too big for them. When you think about a baby that only weighs 1 pound, 2 ounces, that's a very small
You
baby.
say this shirt would be too big.
That's right.
This shirt would be too big for a premature baby.
It would be too big for a baby that's in the 1 pound,
Right.
1 pound, 4 ounce, that a
Like
Band-Aid would be the size of a blood pressure cup.
Brian Simpson's son, Owen, you know, of course, as well as Mark Mitchell's twin boys, who were all 3 of those young boys born around 2 pounds, 2 pounds 1 ounce, 2 pounds 4 ounce. Of course, we were blessed to have Brian and Mark with us recently. Obviously, so many other parents that have been impacted by premature births. That's a powerful
It
testament.
really is. And Greg, they didn't think they would have premature babies.
Oh, yeah?
The spouses did everything right, and the next thing you know, in comes a baby that is only 1 pound, 2 ounces.
Right, right.
And a lot of people, again, say to me, well, you know, this doesn't impact my world. My feeling is this is someone's baby,
Yeah.
and the March of Dimes cares about every baby, and we want your audience to care about every baby as well. We want them all to be healthy.
Oh, yeah.
And we're working toward that day that everybody will get their 9 months and they'll deliver healthy children.
We've got some very powerful statistics over the years, Joe, and obviously you've been with us a number of times, filming up in Marion, filming all over the PD, being together at walks, and you and your amazing husband, Sterling, have attended a heck of a lot of walks, but I've seen so many different instances where, for instance, you pulled off a wedding band and highlighted that that could go up the, not only around the hand, but up the arm, all the way to the shoulder area.
Absolutely.
For a lot of premature babies. And this is really an opportunity for folks this Saturday to make a difference. But of course, having been with us so many times, there's always amazing statistics. What are some of those statistics? They're startling.
The startling statistic is that premature birth is now a national health crisis in the United States. And 1 in 8 is born prematurely, and in South Carolina that's 24 every day, 168 babies every week, 8,760 babies just in South Carolina every year, 500,000 in the United States. And sadly, in South Carolina, 524 of those babies will not reach their first birthday.
No.
Think about the roller coaster ride for the parents, grandparents, friends, and family
and
to
those
have
medical
those
professionals
babies.
who really have such empathy and sympathy for the families, but also that interactivity. Oftentimes nurses or doctors may have more involvement with the child than even their own parent.
Well, because they stay in the unit.
Exactly,
That's
because
right.
they're there in the neonatal intensive care units. You all have, as a board, the PD division of the March of Dimes, I know you've encouraged board members to visit some of the neonatal intensive care units. The one in our area is at McLeod, I believe.
We have
That's
one
a
at
powerful experience, isn't it?
Unbelievable. It's very, very difficult, Greg, not to go in and think to yourself, I'm tough enough to be able to go in and see this firsthand. And I can handle this. And then walk in and see a baby that weighs 1 pound and 8 ounces, that has more tubes connected to it than you can even imagine. They can't cry. We're their cry for help.
Right.
And know that it's going to be in there for 3 months. You know what the insurance, the cost of all of this is to these people emotionally, as well as what it costs to have a baby in there in that unit. And to know that they could have lifelong health problems, they could have breathing issues, they could have cerebral palsy, they could be blind. You might hold up for a while, but when you turn and walk away, it becomes very, very emotional to you, because these are families that you don't know, but you do know, because you know you're trying to make a difference in their lives by helping the March of Dimes.
I heard Ozell Newman talk about it, and I don't think this was the only time he's been, but it's a very powerful experience. One of the other board members, Ozell Newman from Santee Cooper, talking about the experience of going up there with you and Colleen. I can't remember who else went up this year, but every year, obviously, you have folks, a lot of board members. In the PD division, you serve a very large area, Joe, as the executive director, so involved, traveling this very large area. What's that been like for you, having taken on the executive directorship just a couple of years ago and traveling all over the area?
Well, all I can say is the back 2 seats of the van haven't been in since I purchased it 2 years ago, because there's always a box in there of some sort that you're carrying.
Right.
But our division goes as far as Marlboro County, where Colleen handles that walk in the fall. I do Marion County in the fall. I'm involved in Georgetown County and Horry County, and Horry County is a pretty good territory in and of itself. And then Colleen is in Dillon and in Lake City, so we spend about 80% of our time out on the road, calling on teams, calling on potential sponsors, meeting families, getting hot dogs ready for walks and that sort of thing. But it's a very rewarding experience, Greg. It really has been.
I bet it is. And, of course, this past Saturday, as we said, you were in Georgetown. How'd the walk turn out?
The walk, it was a beautiful day. We had about 400 people come out to walk for babies.
Great.
That is a very, very nice walk site. They walk through the historic district of Georgetown County and then come up the boardwalk and come back. And we have the traditional hot dogs and popcorn and a lot of fun and a DJ, and we line dance, and it gives you a great opportunity, because we've been working on it now for really a year, but we kicked it off in January. It gives you an opportunity to say thank you, and you get to get up close and personal to all the people that are involved in the campaign. We had a good time.
Walk Day is really a celebration day of all the year between walks, where you're making efforts to get sponsors out, to get teams put together. Some of the amazing schools, whether in Georgetown or in Horry County, you had tremendous success already. I think Forest Brook Elementary has had a big number, but at the same time, they continue to raise, and I'm sure will be raising funds up to this Saturday.
They will be raising funds up until this Saturday. I'm happy to tell you the school system in Horry County placed 5th in the nation for school systems last year.
5th in America.
That's right.
Wow.
And that is, when you stop again to think about major markets like Dallas and Houston and other Miami, that Horry County is 5th in the nation, and then Forest Brook Elementary was the #1 elementary school in the nation for elementary schools.
Forest Brook Elementary.
#1 in the United States.
Was the #1 elementary school in America.
That's right.
Wow. Wow is
phenomenal.
The word. Yeah.
And that's young people who are bringing in dimes and selling popsicles for preemies and having a good time. But that's just one school. Our school system last year did a great job, and I can already tell you, before we ever get to Bank Day, they've already exceeded what they did last year that we've put in the bank.
Praise the
and
Lord.
More to come. And it's going to be a great day at Coastal Carolina University.
It is. Rain or shine this Saturday. And, of course, I know you said Ed Piotrowski is the official meteorologist for the event?
He's the MC for the event.
He's the MC, per usual, and he does such a great job. It's great having him out there. And, of course, David Bennett, the honorary chair, is kind of like an MC, a great representative, and obviously the issues that he and his family faced with some early childhood events going on. You've got a new walk route. If a viewer needs to get off to work now or get family off to school, Joe, what's the best number for someone to call today on Monday to find out some of the little things? If they don't have a website or can't go online or have never used email, what are some of the things? We'll talk about them now, but if they've got to go, what's a phone number they could call to find out ways they could raise money over the next 123 hours?
Absolutely. They can call our offices, which are located in Conway, at 488-3463.
Okay.
And that's 488-DIME.
488-DIME. And viewers could also send in donations, and I suspect you can take donations for a while and them still be counted towards this walk.
Well, the good news is we could actually accept until December the 31st, and they would
Great.
count towards this walk. And
Good.
they can mail them to our offices at 314 Laurel Street,
Okay.
number 201 in Conway, 29526.
314 Laurel Street, number 201 in Conway,
526.
29526. Well, that's great. Just call in the office if they couldn't get that down. Call in the 843-488-DIME. 488-3463 is so important, and so oftentimes people like a little extra push. What are some of the things? Can I sell some brownies at work this Friday? Can we do a dress down day and then pay a little extra to be able to dress down? Can we even sell the hot dogs later today, at Monday?
Absolutely.
You know, Monday's a great day of the week.
Or can I stop by a local food store and pick up some cupcakes
Right.
and take them in and sell them and say,
Yes.
I'm selling these today for babies. It all started with a dime, and,
Oh, yeah.
and 10 of them make $1. And so for us, every dime and dollar counts as we work toward this goal. And
Yes.
it's going to be a truly special day on Saturday. The pavilion was a wonderful walk site.
Oh, yeah.
And so with Coach Bennett being our honorary chairman, he wanted this Saturday to be very special, Greg, and it is
yeah.
going to be.
It is, very
It
definitely.
really, really is.
Yeah.
From the moment you arrive and you get your breakfast refreshments and get to listen to Ainer Elementary Steel Drum Band play.
Great. Ainer
And
Elementary.
That's it. They
Wow,
have an
I didn't know
award-winning steel drum band, and
Yes.
those young people are going to be there.
that. Great.
And you're going to go up into the stands, and we're going to have Coastal Carolina University's pep band there, and all
Is
the
that right?
cheerleaders
Good.
and football
I understand
players.
all the football players
all
will be
of
out.
them. And then the young people from the Miracle League are going to get to be with
remember
us
Tori
that day.
Mackey shared that. Of course, they talked about it at the kickoff 10 days ago, at the Saturday
Right.
kickoff down at...
And they'll all be with us in connection with that as they lead out for a 3-mile walk on campus.
Yes.
And certainly we'll have a water station, and there'll be football players all throughout the route.
Oh, yeah.
Golf carts in case you get tired and can't make the 3 miles. We'll bring you back to the stadium. And then when they come back from the walk, of course, we'll have a good old-fashioned American party with hot dogs and all the trimmings.
Yes.
Giveaway plaques. And then once we finish that,
Right.
young people ages 5 to 13 will take the field
Good.
for a punt, pass, and kick competition.
They'll take the real field. They're at
Absolutely.
Brooks Stadium.
Absolutely.
Oh, God,
Coach
right
Bennett,
out there.
all the coaches, all the football players. And Coach said, I'm staying till the last one has a chance to take a football and throw it. We've got all kinds of medals and trophies to give out that day. But
Right.
I think that's going to be great fun for
That
everybody.
is wonderful. Punt, pass, and kick. Professor Mitchell was saying that he's been practicing with his 2 boys out there, his 2 6-year-olds. And, of course, I'd like to say that Emma Claire and I have been practicing some punt, passing, kicking. We have not, but I'm prayerfully hopeful she'll have a good time out there anyway.
I believe that she will, and certainly
Yeah.
there are a number of things there for children to enjoy. But
Oh,
it's going
yeah.
to be a great day for babies in the PD division. It really is.
Speaking of babies and children, Joe, ambassador babies have a role in this Saturday's walk
Major.
as well, right?
Major.
What are some of the things? I know when we were at Marion Regional Medical Center up there in Marion, you highlighted that the ambassador babies, in that instance, they go out on public roads or otherwise, so a sheriff kind of leads the walk and helps the babies get going. Here at Coastal Carolina this Saturday, what are some of the roles that the ambassador babies and their families will have?
Well, this year for ambassador families, we have a set of twins,
Uh-huh.
Hope and Isaiah, and they're Team Hope and Isaiah. They were born prematurely. And then Coach Bennett asked if we would ask Ken Hunter, who is an assistant coach who has spina bifida,
Right.
to be an honorary ambassador.
Oh, yeah.
And they've been at our kickoffs, thank you luncheons, rallies,
Right.
They've both gone out to different major teams and done presentations. They've been available when we've asked them to be.
Right.
They've helped us cut our public service announcements, and that is the face of the March of Dimes. They are the young people, and of course they'll be at the walk, and they'll help lead off the walk, and they've been great resources for us.
And those are the two ambassador.
We have twins and kin.
Right.
Those are the ambassadors for the 2007. But the babies that have helped us in previous years have been made. They've been our members now of Ambassadors Always Club.
Great.
So that we keep the Luke Parrots, the Riley Saffels, the Miles Picketts, the Parker Wilsons. They're involved, and they have stayed involved with us for all the years that they've been in our program.
I've seen some of the T-shirts getting ready for this year's
Yes.
walk with pictures of Parker Wilson or of Luke Parrott or even Riley, I suspect. So many of the children that are highlighted because they are, as you say, the face of the March of Dimes. Their parents oftentimes. I remember Chris Saffels coming into the studio there at the Herald studio and being with us, as well as other parents over the years, spending time with us over the number of years here at Carolina People. It's been a great way for us to get in touch not only with you guys, the folks, as well as Dennis and Ryan and your many, many chairs in the past, but also to see the face of the March of Dimes.
Well, their stories are powerful. And some of them have been through some real valleys.
Right.
And so it's wonderful when we see them come out of the valley and head up the mountain and be able to walk.
Oh, yeah,
And they may be a little behind in terms of not doing it when other babies are doing it, but we began to see them and smiling and talking, and they'll all be at the walk, and that's what makes the walk, in my opinion, very special, is that you get to see these babies right there.
Absolutely. It was very emotional when Brian Simpson was with us just a couple of weeks ago when we were filming at Keller Williams, talking about his son, Owen Reef Wilson, and the excitement for him and his wife. As you said, they didn't plan to have a premature baby, and it happened that way. And of course, he's had a lot of things. I think he had a hernia surgery or a hip surgery, and he's right around 8 months now since last August. But the excitement for the parent, and to hear him Brian talk about a call his first day there from the March of Dimes, and that he and his wife Lisa and their son Owen will be supporters of the March of Dimes until they die. I mean, it's really that commitment right at the get-go when they find out about the situation. The March of Dimes gets active, and they need dollars to help remain
Absolutely. If you don't, it's interesting. When I first went to work for the March of Dimes and went through some training, it became very simple, Greg. No money, no mission.
Right.
That is very, very true. Right. If we don't have the dollars, we can't fulfill the mission of saving premature babies, infant mortality, which is high in America and compared to other countries. You have to have the dollars to do it. Right. So we encourage people to give.
Yes.
And they still have time. They have
123 hours. That's very good. 1, 2, 3. We need to drive that home because it'll be 122 and a half in a couple of minutes.
That's right.
And then it'll be 120. Now that enables them to literally raise right up to the walk at 10 a.m. I know registration's at 9. Do you have any volunteer needs for this Saturday's walk, Joe?
It wouldn't, if someone has some time that they can volunteer and would call the office and talk to me, since I coordinate the volunteer crew there, that'd be great at the 488-3463.
Okay.
Takes a lot of people to pull this all off.
I know. And if volunteers needed to be out there and you had room for them, they'd need to be out even a little earlier, 8 or 8:30.
Absolutely.
Okay,
That's
so to
right.
plan on, if you can give up some time, to give it up, as well as to plan on being out for registration, which is 9, and the walk's at 10 o'clock.
But I don't want to volunteer to think that they might miss walking. No, if they want to come out and volunteer for an hour or so, we'll be sure they get out on the walk route and enjoy the walk with all of the rest of the people. We're expecting a record-breaking crowd this year.
That's tremendous, Joe. And of course, even it'll be a melancholy day for a lot of the folks involved with us, as it is your last walk. Yes, your last walk as the executive director of the PD division. We sure hope we'll get you back as an honorary chair or an honorary position for years to come, Joe.
Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful trip. I can guarantee you, both my husband, he echoes that same sentiment.
That's great. Joe, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
What a pleasure to see you, Greg. Thanks for all your support.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Joe Fisher Coming up next. Do these four letters say it all? Look at it. H-E-L-P. They may not, but Coach Bennett's words on all those public service announcements you've seen around town do. With your support and prayers, there's hope. That wasn't in the script, but he threw it in. With your support and prayers, there's hope. You know, when we started the interview here with Joe this morning, 123 hours you had to give. Folks have been raising money all year long, but a lot of folks are turning on the juice right here at the end. Now we only have 122 and a half hours before the walk begins this Saturday, Coastal Carolina University. Registration's at 9. The walk kicks off at 10. You heard Joe say it. You know, another powerful number that comes into play. This past Saturday was her 36th walk down in Georgetown. This Saturday will be she and her husband's last walk. She and Sterling will be walking their 37th walk together, getting out there, raising funds, fighting to save babies, fighting against prematurity every day. 488-3463. You can still make a difference, and you can do just this.